Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. For today we're going to be explaining you how to speed up your website. Now this is the first video I'm going to be doing for the channel, so I hope you will enjoy it and of course it will be helpful for you. Some of you have been asking me what exactly is that I do and what is my business. Well, simply I'm trying to run a website and few different kind of businesses online. I still didn't get my idea right because right now it's in the middle of the crisis, so a lot of things are changing very fast. It's a very fast pace, and I really need to adapt very quickly to what is happening. So right now I'm not gonna really go into the depth of it, but in the following video I will be exactly explaining you what I mean when I say that right now basically I'm trying to follow Amazon FBA. I'm trying to understand if drop shipping is good, if drop servicing is better, and all these kind of online businesses that you may or you may not have heard. And I will just take one separate video to explain you exactly what each and every one of these includes and how they work, so that maybe you can also look forward to see how this thing works and maybe start your own website or start your own Amazon FBA business, who knows. I hope that it will be helpful for you anyway. Now, the lesson for today is how to speed up your website. I didn't really speak about websites or which one providers to use or which providers I'm using. That will be for another video. For today, it's just going to be how to reach more than 90% of speed on the GT metric statistics. Now, this is very important. It's a free tool. You can use it. You can simply Google GT metrics online, and this will simply be telling you what is the problem of your website and how fast your website is basically. And it will tell you exactly all the problems, so you can simply analyze it and it will tell you exactly how to fix it as well. But some of the jargon might be a little techy, so if you're not really a developer you will maybe miss some of the words, so you will not really understand what they mean. So this is what the video is for, to kind of explain you and help you how to do it. Then you can also get the help of someone that knows information technology a little better. You can always send an email or send a support ticket to the service provider that you have. So for example, I'm using A2. I sent plenty tickets whenever I had to go coding on the database because I'm not really used to it, and they really help me a lot. So you might also do that. For the beginning, this is about speeding up your website. There is mainly six ways to speed up your websites, and I'm going to explain each one of them. The first one is add fonts and import them in the library. Now, what does it mean? Basically, whenever you load your website, the website is going to have automatically different fonts that are going to be loading each time that you load the website, comporting the website to be slowing down when you charge it. Now, this is not really necessary because obviously if I'm just writing in one, two or three fonts, I don't need to load 10 of them, right? So what can I do is use is called OMGF, the application that I use on WordPress. Simply this allows you to remove the Google fonts and disable them from loading, and you will simply download the fonts yourself from Google and upload them into your media library. So from the code you will basically make sure that the website loads only the font that you need to use and not all of them. Therefore it will fast up your website. Second, you can use a CDN optimization. Now this is a content delivery network, in case you never heard of it. What does it do? Simply is a very fast way to store some of the content of the website. So whenever it's a static content, it doesn't have to be loaded directly on your website. You can simply transfer and put it on the content delivery network, and then make sure that you point the visitors to the content delivery network whenever they reach into your page. You point your IP to the content delivery network where the content is hosted, and it's at very high speed. It might usually this costs something, so you might not really need it if you don't have a lot of content, because at the beginning the website is fast anyway. But I recommend that you check it out because this really increases the speed of your website a lot. And the one I use is TagPath, and they really give you a lot of support in case you use them. So I recommend that you look it out if in case you're looking to speed up your website even further. Then you will have to use a cookie-free website. Basically, this means that you do not have to have cookies on your website. That's as simple as that. You will have to create a subdomain, and this might get a little tricky because you will have to do some coding. And for example, for me, I've been using A2 hosting, and for the version I'm using, that is the optimized version, it is not possible to find the file and replace it, so I will have to hire a developer to do it for me. So this might be a little tricky, and I recommend you that you ask for assistance for someone in case you're not really confident with the coding. However, usually the providers also assist you. For example, A2 Hosting Optimized, they told me we will give you a 50 euros discount on if you ask a developer to help you, we will give you some money in order to assist you with this thing. So they might also help you with that. So you can check it out. If in case you're not really a techie person, find a developer and don't put your hand on the code of the database, otherwise the website might collapse. You also have to limit your plugins and scripts. This does not only mean that you have to reduce the amount of plugins that are running on your website, because that obviously slows your website down, but also you will have to use an application that is called Asset Cleanup that basically allows you to limit the scripts and the plugins running from certain pages. For example, in case, make the example of my website, elettronicamigliore.it. For example, for this website, I have one blog section and I also have one e-commerce section where you can purchase products. Whenever I'm writing an article on the blog section, I don't really need to use the plugins of WooCommerce, which is basically, for example, the pay now or add to cart bar or choose how many items and add to the cart, purchase now. I don't really need those ones because in the blog section I'm just explaining some products. I'm just explaining, oh, this is the font, this is released the now, it was released then, and this is the statistics, this is everything about it. So I don't really need to sell anything on the blog section because it's just an informative. In that case, I can simply use this plugin to prevent the script of WooCommerce for selling these products on the only on this page of the blog section. Therefore, it does not load all the payments instructions, and it's going to be loading faster instead of loading it on every page that my visitors open, right? Now, another one is minify JavaScript, CSS, and HTML. Now, this is for the coding, basically. You don't have to do it manually, fortunately. There is plenty of plugins that do it for you. I'm using W3 Total Cache. Basically, this allows you, first let's explain it. Whenever you have a website, you will have different files and different coding files. And the code inside the files may be called. Whenever I visit your website, simply if you have 7 different files for the JavaScript, I will have to call each and every one of them whenever I open the page. However, this is not very optimal because I'm using many resources of your website just to open a code that could be simply uploaded into a single file, right? So what this plugins does is basically take the code that is in different files, reduce the size of it, and also put them together in the same file. Therefore, whenever I load the website, whenever a visitor loads the website, it's not asking for many resources because it doesn't have to open 7 different files. It will simply be asked for 3 or 4 of them. And this will speed the website faster. And this works for JavaScript, CSS, and also HTML. So it works very well to compressing and minifying the code. Then the last one that I can offer you is to minify and compress the images. Basically, it's about the same thing. Whenever I run a website, especially if I'm trying to sell many products, I have one page where I have the product description and all these images, right? And they all have to load whenever I enter in your page, in the page of the product. Now, this is very inconvenient because they load all at the same time, and if I have many of them especially, the website is going to be very slow, but you want the website to be very responsive. So you can minify and compress the images. First of all, you can resize and reduce the size that they take on your disk just by reducing the size with a tool that you can find on Google. Second, when you upload them into your library, you can use a tool to simply serve them scaled. So they will for example, if your image is it's this big, but in your site you just see the image this big, you don't really need all that resolution. It's like lost. You're loading the entire image, but you're not showing all of it. So that's a waste of resources. And in that case, you have plenty plugins as well that are for free that can do these things, and they will simply minify, compress the images, they will reduce the file, the size of it, and it will load much faster your website. So this is a must-have. And all of these should grant you more than 95% on GT metrics. I personally reached 98% as the website speed. I recommend that you check it out and you use it, and it will tell you exactly what the problems of your website is. And with the help of a developer, or maybe you can just do like I did, you search it yourself on Google and it will tell you exactly how to fix it. And that's all for today. I hope that this really helped you speeding up your website, and if you didn't, you can just leave a comment below and tell me how I can improve my videos. For the future, I will be uploading also recommendations about which providers you should use for